This is the Yocal Idaho Midweek Report, where we give you a quick overview of the news in Idaho for the last week. This week we have any number of interesting stories. We're going to talk about some local police items, some geographical areas in the state, and then talk about some restaurants here. Our first story of the day is the Treasure Valley honors fallen Deputy Tobin Bolter. This comes from KTVB7 by staff. The community of Ada County, Idaho is coming together to celebrate the life of Deputy Tobin Bolter, who tragically lost his life on Sunday, April 21st, after sustaining a gunshot wound during a traffic stop. The 27-year-old deputy had served with the Ada County Sheriff's Office since January of this year, having previously worked with the Meridian Police Department. Gestures to honor Deputy Bolter began within hours of his passing, with a police procession and flowers and candles laid outside the ACSO in his memory. Several organizations and communities have gathered to pay tribute to Bolter by hosting candlelight vigils in the city of Star and the city of Middleton, where Bolter lived at Foot Park. Additional vigils were planned in both Valley and Blaine counties. Local businesses have also stepped up to support the Bolter family. Old State Saloon and Sid's Garage donating a portion of their sales proceeds to the family. The ACSO, overwhelmed by the community's support, has provided various options for those wishing to contribute directly to the families of Deputy Bolter and injured Deputy Dallas Denny, including a GoFundMe campaign, direct deposits, Venmo, and mail.
Which, keeping with the theme of fatalities, it seems lately, we have Kellogg Police investigate suspicious death of local man. This comes by the Coeur d'Alene/Post Falls Press by Josh McDonald. The Kellogg Police Department, or KPD, is investigating the suspicious death of a 27-year-old Reed Norris, whose body was discovered behind a building at the corner of McKinley Avenue and West Park Avenue on last Monday afternoon. Police responded to a report of an unconscious man lying on the ground, and upon determining that Norris was deceased, called the Idaho State Police to handle the investigation. According to KPD Chief Paul Twittet, there were no apparent signs of foul play, but investigators are not ruling out anything at this point. Norris was last seen leaving the nearby Dirty Dog Saloon on the early hours of Sunday morning, attempting to make a phone call on his cell phone roughly half an hour later. His body was found fully clothed, lying on his back against the side of the building, with what appeared to be a bloody nose. The investigation now hinges on the toxicology results from the Shoshone County Coroner's Office. Chief Twittet expressed gratitude for the assistance provided by the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office and ISP, which responded with several troopers and its mobile crime lab. He emphasized the importance of calling in additional resources to ensure a prompt and proper handling of the case. Authorities are urging anyone with information relevant to the investigation to contact the Idaho State Police at 208-772-6055. And there again, continuing with police things, but on a little bit more of a positive note, Idaho Falls Police Department unveils new $30 million complex amid heroic acts. This comes by the East Idaho News by David Pace. The Idaho Falls Police Department celebrates the grand opening of its brand new state-of-the-art $30 million complex at 775 North Gate Mile on Tuesday, April 16th. The two-story facility, which triples the department's evidence storage space and brings together various divisions previously spread across separate buildings, marks a significant milestone for the city's law enforcement. However, the celebration was tempered by the sobering reality of challenges faced by the Idaho Falls police officers in recent months. During the ceremony, Chief Bryce Johnson revealed that 8 Idaho Falls police officers, representing 8% of the department, have been under fire in the past 4 months. He commended the officers for their courage and honor in the face of extreme duress, noting that the department plans to release videos showcasing the heroic actions in the coming days. Mayor Rebecca Casper also touched on the daily sacrifice and dedication required of the city's police force, recounting a poignant moment captured on an officer's body cam during a high-intensity crisis. The new complex, funded through certificates of participation at a 1.8% interest rate without raising taxes, is expected to increase efficiencies, bringing nearly all team members together under one roof. As the first standalone police facility in the city's history, the Idaho Falls Police Complex stands as a testament to the hard work and dedication of the department's employees, who have accomplished remarkable feats despite less than ideal facilities in the past. which if you've liked what we've talked about thus far on the Midweek Report, do us a favor and hit the like button on YouTube, Rumble, or Twitter. Helps us reach more folks who love Idaho just like you. And speaking of something that we've talked a great deal about, Idaho's energy future, balancing renewables, reliance, and emerging technologies. This comes by the Boise Dev by Margaret Carmel. As world leaders push for renewable energy, politicians and business leaders in Idaho gathered at the Boise Metro Chamber's annual leadership conference in Sun Valley to discuss the state's direction on power generation. Adam Richens, Idaho Power's senior vice president, highlighted the company's goal of reaching 100% renewable energy by 2045 while maintaining affordable and reliability. Idaho already has a strong foundation in renewables, with 51% of its power coming from hydroelectric dams, and 41% from solar, and 17% from wind sources. However, the intermediate nature of renewable energy and the lengthy permitting process for infrastructure projects poses challenges in converting the final 20% of power demand to renewables. During the panel on emergency management and electric grid reliance, Representative Britt Raybould, a Republican from Rexburg, emphasized the need for Idaho to prioritize infrastructure protection and plan for potential disruptions. She advocated for increased penalties for those who deliberately damage essential infrastructure and stressed the importance of, quote, fail safer, end quote, by understanding the implications of improbable events. Dr. John Wagner, Idaho National Laboratories Director, discussed the potential of small modular reactors, or SMRs, we've talked about that before, in making nuclear power more cost-effective and sustainable. While SMRs are still in development, Wagner envisions Idaho as a regional hub for nuclear technology and research, with local communities showing increased receptivity to new nuclear projects, particularly when repurposing shut-down coal plants.
And moving from power to geography, we have Craters of the Moon National Monument celebrates 100 years of wonders. This comes from the East Idaho News by staff. Craters of the Moon National Monument in southern Idaho, described by President Calvin Coolidge as a weird and scenic landscape particular to itself, is celebrating its centennial from May through September this year. The National Park Service, in collaboration with partners and the public, has planned a variety of activities and events each month to commemorate the occasion, including special exhibits, star parties, guided hikes, and programs led by artists in residence. The celebrations will officially begin on May 2nd, declared as Craters of the Moon Centennial Day in Idaho by Governor Brad Little, with a Centennial Walk and a People of the Moon program on May 4. Over the past century, Craters of the Moon has expanded from its initial 54,000 acres to approximately 738,000 acres of federal land, co-managed by the NPS and Bureau of Land Management. The park's volcanic features, estimated to have erupted between 15,000 and 2,000 years ago, include cones, craters, rifts, lava flows, caves, and natural bridges. Beyond its geological wonders, Craters of the Moon boasts a rich cultural history as the ancestral lands of the Shoshone and Bannock peoples, over 43,000 acres of designated wilderness, robust research opportunities utilized by NASA scientists and astronauts, and an expansive dark night sky. The NPS invites visitors to explore and experience the park's history and complexity during this special anniversary year.
Which, if you want to make sure that your friends and family know about this cool event that's going on with the Craters of the Moon, don't hesitate to share it. Your shares help us spread the news about our beautiful state.
And that brings us to our next story, which is Rockwell Greens, a new neighborhood proposed in western Meridian. This comes from the Boise Dev by Sydney Kidd. Meridian's western end is set to welcome a new addition with the proposed development of Rockwell Greens, a neighborhood comprising of 205 single-family homes spread across approximately 25 acres near McMillan Road and the future path of Highway 16. The project, filed by Conger Group, aims to provide much-needed affordable housing options in a desirable part of the city, complete with a range of amenities designed to enhance the quality of life for its residents. The planned neighborhood will feature a 1.5-acre park, a playground, a community pool, pickleball courts, and a dog park catered to the diverse needs and interests of the community. To address potential noise concerns from the nearby highway, the developers are seeking special approval for a 12-foot high berm with a sound wall built on top. The neighborhood will be constructed in 3 stages and will offer a mix of single-family attached and detached homes with an average lot size of 3,109 square feet and a density of just over 8 houses per acre. Before breaking ground, Rockwell Greens must navigate a series of hearings and approvals from Meridian's Planning and Zoning Commission and City Council, as well as engage in pre-application meetings with the city and neighborhood meetings with the public.
Which, speaking of things going on in the public, the Boise Bicycle Project grand reopening after drunk driver damage. This comes by KTVB7 by staff. The Boise Bicycle Project, or BBP, celebrated a triumphant return last Friday with a grand reopening, welcoming the public back into their newly repaired building months after a drunk driver crashed in the front of the structure. The incident, which occurred in December of 2023, left Executive Director Devin McCummins heartbroken as he arrived at work on his bike to find the building's front caved in. Despite the setback, community rallied around the Boise Bicycle Project, quickly patching the wall with plywood and allowing the nonprofit to successfully hold its annual Holiday Kids Bike giveaway just days later. Following the event, the building closed its doors to undergo extensive repairs, with Development Director Gillian Horn revealing the entire front of the building needed to be demolished and rebuilt. The grand reopening on last Friday marked a new beginning for the Boise Bicycle Project, as visitors were greeted by the lively sounds of a 3-string band playing music at the entrance. The Boise Bicycle Project, known for its commitment to providing bike safety programs, affordable bikes, and community events throughout the year, can now continue its mission serving the people of Boise with renewed strength and resilience. And then swinging all the way to the other end of the valley, Shared Stories, Caldwell's newest bookstore. This comes by the Boise Dad by Autumn Robertsons. George Decker and wife Josiel Skinner have embarked on their first business venture, turning a lifelong love for books into reality with the opening of Shared Stories, Caldwell's newest bookstore. Located at 106 South Kimball Avenue, the modest 1,250 square foot store, formerly known as the Hello Norman, offers a carefully curated selection of new books, cards, gifts, candles, puzzles, and more, with Decker excitedly sharing that they have just received permission to sell Legos. The couple's commitment to supporting local artists is evident throughout the store, with soaps and candles sourced from New Plymouth, shelves crafted in Middleton at the Brick Barn Furniture, and even a custom scent created in collaboration with neighboring Litco. Skinner's vision for the perfect bookstore aroma was, quote, the smell of reading a book while in a rainstorm in the Owyhee Mountains, end quote. The Deckers believe they've come pretty close. The store's soft opening on Wednesday marked the culmination of a dream that Skinner shared with Decker during their early dating days in 2003. Now, more than 20 years later, the self-proclaimed book nerds are thrilled to bring their passion to the Caldwell community. Shared Stories celebrates its grand opening last Saturday and is currently open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday from noon to 6 p.m. with the possibility of adjusted hours in the future. Which, if you don't want to miss out learning even more about Idaho, make sure to subscribe and follow us so you don't miss any of our future content.
And of course, a Yocal Midweek report would not be complete without talking about food establishments in the Treasure Valley. So first we have the Griddle expands with 2 new locations in Caldwell and Meridian. This comes from the Boise Dev by Autumn Robertson. The Griddle, a beloved breakfast and lunch spot that has been serving up delicious fare since 1948, is set to open 2 new locations in the Treasure Valley. The restaurant, which already has a strong presence in Boise, Eagle, Meridian, and Nampa, will be expanding to Caldwell and Meridian. The Caldwell location will be situated in the Tillian, a new apartment and retail project located at 616 Main Street near Indian Creek Plaza. According to Abe Aboud, the Griddle's business manager, the interior will feature the same paint, counter, tables, and booths as the other locations, maintaining the restaurant's signature style. Aboud expressed enthusiasm for the downtown Caldwell area, describing it as up and coming and praising the great work being done. In Meridian, the Griddle will take over the space previously occupied by Gino's Italian Ristorante at 3015 West McMillan Road. Geno's, which moved to Meridian from downtown Boise in 2009, recently announced its closure due to rising business costs and unfavorable economic conditions, as well as the passing of its owner, Gino Vuolo, in 2022. Abood acknowledges that the space requires significant work, but reveals plans for a really nice outdoor patio as part of the renovation. While no opening dates have been set for the new locations, fans of the Griddle can look forward to enjoying their favorite breakfast and lunch dishes in Caldwell and Meridian in the near future. And another new restaurant, another new Chick-fil-A at Boise Spectrum, moves forward with revised site plan. This comes from the Boise Dev by Don Day. A new Chick-fil-A restaurant, another one, which is not in Eagle, finally, is one step closer to opening at the Boise Spectrum as developers have submitted a revised site plan to address concerns raised by city planners. The proposed restaurant would replace two sit-down restaurant buildings dating back to the late 1990s, the vacant Johnny Carino's and the current El Tenempa. The revised plan focuses on accommodating the high volume of cars expected to pass through the drive-thru during peak hours. The design features a dual drive-thru lane capable of holding a queue of around 34 cars, with a screen wall and elevated landscaping along the entire length of the drive-thru to improve the overall appearance of the center and decrease visibility from the street. The initial plan had the drive-through lane wrapping around the south and west sides of the site, parallel to Spectrum Street and Entertainment Avenue, which goes against the city of Boise's zoning code that discourages drive-through queuing lanes running right next to public streets. After exploring several options, developers settled on a plan that moves a part of the drive-through lane away from the roads while still keeping about 120 feet along the street. The Boise Planning and Zoning Commission is set to hold a hearing on the project on May 6th at Boise City Hall.
And with that said, thank you for listening to the entire report. I sincerely hope you found it enjoyable and valuable. If you like the Midweek report, make sure to check out our Sunday show where John and I talk about the main stories going on in Idaho and dive into them. Also, if we missed any important points or provided incorrect information, please feel free to reach out to us via email at LYI, all caps, media@protonmail.com, or on Twitter by tweeting us at local Yocal Idaho. With the small team we have, we're not able to cover everything, but we do our best to cover the most interesting and important stories. Thank you for your continued support and assistance. That's all for now, and I wish you a fantastic rest of your week. Godspeed.